Hello, we're back to another random weird video. I decided to branch out because I've said multiple times I want to branch this channel out to other YouTube type deals and shit like that. So I'm back at the Pop Culture Detective Agency because I made the startling revelation in the last video. This guy's a male Anita. He's an Anita with a dick. So, yeah.
So, once again, it's David Levinson reminding you.
Like, he even has the same kind of like musical tone and production, which is kind of why I think he's male Anita, because he actually does have because he actually produced videos on her channel.
Anybody else that's listening, don't mess with Earth.
The long-awaited sequel to the 1996 mega-blockbuster Independence Day hit theaters this summer. Independence Day Resurgence is built on the same premise that made the original famous, a potent combination of alien killing and patriotic pandering.
Shouldn't we be nervous?
Yeah. Make them pay.
We're gonna kick some serious alien. Let's show them some fireworks.
I like how he said like patriotic pandering, which is basically all action movies that have to do with like defending America and all that stuff. They're all like kind of like that, but.
And there's happy 4th of July.
Is that all you got?
According to most reviews, the movie itself was unremarkable. What was remarkable, however, was the marketing for the film. Some of you might remember something a little strange about the trailers, and I mean in addition to Jeff Goldblum doing his whole Jeff Goldblum thing.
When the world was brought to its knees, the army was there to fight back. Promised us that this would never happen again. They have been the driving force in uniting nations around the world to form the most powerful weapon against another attack. The Earth-Space Defense. Brave men and women of the ESD are making sure that the War of '96 will never happen again. Join Earth-Space Defense. Next time, we will be prepared.
So we see the stars of the film speaking directly to the camera, praising the US Army, and then asking fans to join something called Earth-Space Defense. Then, at the end of the trailer, we see a URL, joinesd.com. Once fans arrive at that website, they're asked to enlist in the ESD to help fight off future alien invasions and, quote, defend Earth's independence at all cost. By clicking Enlist, visitors are notified that they are now a soldier with the rank of private. Now, in order to determine your role in this fantasy military organization, fans are instructed to complete a series of gamified missions. Minigames include simulations where players learn how to pilot an unmanned military drone or crack secret alien codes. Completing each mission raises your rank and unlocks exclusive Independence Day movie content.
We've taken fighter jets that the U.S. military would have been accustomed to, and we've incorporated.
Oh my god, move your mouse, dude. I thought that was my mouse for a second.
Technology.
Jesus.
Now, you'd be forgiven for thinking that this is just a clever marketing stunt designed to drum up more interest in the film. But there's something a little more insidious going on here. In order to compete to unlock those movie extras, fans are instructed to sign in with Facebook. But by doing so, it allows the US Army access.
A website asks me to log in with my Facebook account? Oh my god. I've never seen that before. Oh my god, guys. The US Army is invading our privacy as we speak with this.
Access to your Facebook page and your personal data along with it.
Wait. Okay, let's see. Army join the ESD will receive the following info. Your public profile. Nothing private. Review the info you provide. You can review the info you provide to this app. That's nice. This does not let the app post to Facebook. dude, this guy is like trying to make everyone paranoid and scared. Like every website you go to has this. Everyone that allows you to join it, sign in with Facebook, but you have to look at what website you're going to. It's part of this common sense thing you kind of have to do on the internet, where it's like, does this website look shady? Don't sign in with Facebook. This is, partnered with the Army. Why would the Army have any interest in any Joe Schmo who's like, oh, I'm gonna do this little game? Like, who fucking cares? And it's fucking Facebook. And this takes only stuff that's public. It doesn't take anything private. Where's the private? Where's the private info? He's not gonna tell us, is he?
Allows the U.S. Army access to your Facebook page and your personal data.
Oh no, the Army has access to my public Facebook page that's online that anyone can read. Oh my god. If I didn't want anyone to read what's on my Facebook page, I would probably have everything be privatized, review what this app allows to see, is allowed to see, do all this kind of stuff. But where's this private information, buddy? Where is this? Where does it say that it's gonna have access to your private information? It doesn't. Because guess what? If the Army wants your private information, chances are they could easily get a hold of it. Just saying. I mean, I don't think this little app thing is gonna stop them if you just say deny.
Along with it.
Yeah, okay.
That's because this whole Earth space defense campaign is actually a surreptitious recruiting tool for the U.S. Army.
It's a recruiting tool for the Oh my god, man! Who would have thought the Army would have used a movie franchise to recruit people to the Army? Who would have thought that? Who would have thought that the Army, who wants people to enlist in the Army, would use a movie series that is popular, that's kind of a classic at this point, to market their organization? Who would have thought they would have ever thought of that?
Part of a multi-million-dollar joint advertising venture between 20th Century Fox and the United States military.
No
If you
way.
look carefully, you'll notice a small, unassuming U.S. Army logo in the corner of the page, right across from the
That's like the first thing I saw when I watched like maybe like 10 minutes of this video. That was the Army logo was the first thing I noticed. I noticed on every website. It's kind of easy to see.
Independence Day movie logo. If you look even more closely, you'll notice that when linking over to joinesd.com, you're quietly redirected to goarmy.com, where the site's hosted. GoArmy.com for those.
Oh, the Army website hosts a website for the movie. Oh wow.
Who don't know, is the official
guys.
website for U.S. Army recruitment.
Were you surprised when your daughter enlisted?
Not at all. She's a born leader. I know I've been taking orders from her since she was 5 years.
Guys, can you tell that this advertisement is sponsored by the U.S. Army? You might not have noticed, but just so you know, it is. It's very subtle. You probably would not have guessed it. It's very subtle how the U.S. Army did this. It's very subtle. The U.S. Army is like hitting Kubrick levels of subtleness.
Years old.
So you don't worry about her?
Of course I worry about her. I fought in the war in '96. I know what those things are capable of. But I know what my daughter is capable of. And I know this planet is safer because she's defending it.
Guys, I know it's very subtle. You probably don't even know, but this was sponsored by the U.S. Army. I know it's a very subtle market. You probably didn't realize it at all.
Now that trailer is almost indistinguishable from real U.S. Army television commercials, at least up until the point where the kindly father figure in the U.S. Army cap starts reminiscing about the War of 1996. You remember that's the fictional one that didn't actually happen, where the U.S. military defeated the extraterrestrial invasion with the help of Will Smith.
Well, no shit.
Welcome to Earth.
Cross-branded promotions are now ubiquitous in Hollywood. You've probably seen commercials for Audi or Doritos or Coke that double as trailers for superhero films. These movie tie-ins are meant to trigger an emotional connection in viewers and increase what's referred to as positive brand association by connecting a product with...
Wait, so movies and items in real life are teaming up to sponsor one another? Oh my god, guys, that blows my mind. That never happened in the history of ever till now. Till September 20th, 2016. If this guy did not bring this up, I would have never figured it out, guys. This is breaking my illusion of the world. This is very scary stuff right now, guys. We're
something that people already like.
spooky.
Okay.
The idea is that if you already think that, say, the Hulk is cool, and you're already really excited to see the Hulk smash stuff in the latest Marvel movie, then seeing the Hulk enjoying a can of Coke will link those pre-existing happy, fanish feelings in your mind to the product on the screen, even if that's just on an unconscious level.
No
and the
way.
uncomfortable truth is that this kind of marketing actually works really, really well, which is why corporations...
Guys, commercials work to sell the product that they're selling. Guys, can you believe that? Commercials that are intending to sell their product is causing people to buy said product. Oh my god. You must stop Hollywood. This is the only logical way to stop this. This is too far, man. Soon we're gonna have fucking sponsored cars and racing stuff and all that. Soon video games are gonna have sponsored stuff. I can't believe this. This is unheard of. I can't believe that we're having these things called commercials. What's next? Commercials in movie theaters? Yeah, okay.
Spend billions every year doing it. But here's the thing. Convincing people to eat a bag of street taco flavored Doritos? Ugh. Convincing people...
Oh my god, weird Doritos flavors. I better make a joke about it.
To eat a bag of Doritos and convincing people to sign away 8 years of their lives to the U.S. Army are not exactly comparable. While arguably both might be unhealthy, life in the military presents significantly more risk to your mental, emotional, and physical well-being than having a little junk food now and then. Now, if cross-branded advertising...
Wait, so you're telling me that the U.S. Army should not be doing this? That it's wrong for the U.S. Army to enlist, to have this marketing campaign. But the thing is that they have always done these marketing campaigns. They've always done marketing campaigns. They just wanted to do this movie thing. There's been propaganda movies for a long time. It's still a thing. Propaganda movies have not gone away. If this movie was about feminism and it had strong agendas pushing feminism, like really hardcore, like Ghostbusters, this guy probably wouldn't cry about it. He'd probably be like, oh, Ghostbusters, it's a great movie. It's so good. It's like, it has everything that I always wanted. No way is this a propaganda piece. But, oh, the army is doing propaganda? Oh my god, this is the first time I've ever seen it. It's wrong.
Sounds manipulative. That's because it is. Which is why it's not exactly surprising that the U.S. military is jumping on the bandwagon. The U.S. Army now spends in excess of $200 million per year of taxpayer money on advertising. The U.S. Army contracted advertising firm responsible for the Earth Space Defense Campaign is upfront about what they're doing, saying, quote, "It allows us to tell the U.S. Army recruitment story in a very new and very relevant way." The thing is, that recruitment story they're selling is pure fantasy. Now, to be clear, many people do initially want to join the military for altruistic reasons. Unfortunately, U.S. Army recruiters are notorious for extremely deceptive tactics.
Go through the door. Go. All right, to the left. You look like you're really into this. You guys want a real challenge?
As a soldier in the United States Army, you'll find out what you're really made of and how far you can go. Explore over 150 careers, help pay for college, and learn if you qualify for an enlistment bonus. Call 1-888-395-ARMY now for a free copy of the America's Army game and this new interactive DVD.
Promises of large cash bonuses and money for college are commonly used to entice poor students into enlistment. But the fine print on those contracts makes it so only about 15% of recruits end up getting a college degree out of the deal, and 65% receive no money for college at all. Recruiters...
Can you show us this fine print? Can you show us this? That would be nice. That would make this video a lot better if he was like, see, right here in this little ad, here's the fine print. No, he's just gonna list a statistic and all this stuff without any ounce of credibility. I'm sure that's great. That's great.
Also routinely hide the dangers that go along with life in the military, even outside of combat scenarios.
Because obviously, people who enlist in the army are deceived. They have no way they can deduce in any way that if I join the army, I could die and I could suffer PTSD or all this, this other stuff. And look, if you want to enlist in the army, that's fine. That's what you want to do. I think it's noble for people to enlist in the army if they want to. It is wrong if they're manipulated and they're like kind of deceived into joining. That's a whole other thing, and that's what he's trying to argue. But he's also kind of throwing the army under the bus because the army does need to advertise the enlistment. They do need to give that information out there so people can join. You might say that the way that they advertise is wrong, and that's kind of what he's saying, but it's just that he could do this without sounding like he's against it, I don't know. No, not against the manipulation, but just against the army, I guess. I don't fucking know. It's a weird video. It's a very weird video, to be honest.
Soldiers are not told that the levels of sexual assault and sexual harassment in the military are alarmingly high. Recruiters don't...
Yes, because that's what's going to get people to enlist. Hi guys, want to join the army? Well, there's sexual assault. Sexual assault will happen. It's a problem in the army, but you just got to deal with it. We have these issues here and here. So, hey, you want to join today? Like, yeah, okay.
I'll mention that 1 in 4 women and about 1 in 14 men face severe and persistent sexual harassment and discrimination while serving. They don't mention the fact that suicide...
Yeah, because that's what's going to sell people to enlist, is telling them all these negative things that would turn any rational person away. Now, the only thing that they should sell, how they should sell the army, is just saying, like, hey, if you want to support your country, if you want to do something, join the army, blah, 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 blah. You don't need to, but, like, if they want to enlist people, why would they say... Guys, you get sexually assaulted in the army? Do you know that you could, this can happen to you? You know that, like, noting PTSD is one thing. Like, saying, like, hey, you know that there's a lot of like, side effects for joining the army. Like, you might, have a PTSD. That's one thing, but that's not something that a recruiter is going to tell you. That's something you kind of have to, learn from other people who have served in the army for starters. Or just by looking around or doing some basic research, because joining the army is a big thing. It's a very big decision in your life. It's not something that you should take lightly. It's not something like, oh, okay, I'm going to join the army. Like, it's something that you really have to think about. If you really want to commit to the army, then there you go. But if you are unsure, if you don't know, you're going to have to look at, think about it very hard, talk to your parents about it, talk to people who matter in your life about it, all this kind of stuff. You're not going to watch a fucking ad and make that be your deciding factor.
Suicide rates among veterans are extremely high compared to civilians, and they certainly don't tell you that 1/3 of all homeless men in the United States are military veterans. For the record, that's over 200,000 people. Let's be frank. If you enlist in the Army, there's a darn good chance you're going to have a bad time. And the military knows it. This reality presents something of a PR nightmare, which is why the military has long turned to Hollywood to help clean up their image and sell the idea of enlistment. Every branch of the U.S. military has offices in Los Angeles, which are tasked with collaborating on Hollywood movies and video game productions. Now, for decades, they wouldn't touch any...
Oh, yeah, because, the other thing is when video games come into the Army, to that they want to get authenticity, because they don't want someone to play the game and be like, wow, this is fucking fake, and this wouldn't happen, They want to have some immersion and authenticity to it. It's a thing that happens.
Anything involving UFOs. In fact, the military famously refused to assist on the original Independence Day because the script referenced Area 51. But that's no longer the case. The military has recently collaborated on science fiction movies like Battleship, Man of Steel, Iron Man, and Transformers.
We've got the film crew on board for the movie Battleship. Don't hesitate to show them anything
they ask for. Battleship, that hot movie.
As welcome as humanly possible.
We are now embedded with the United States Navy. We're using all the real crew from this ship right now, and these guys are acting out scenes and fighting their ship, and I think they're having a lot of fun.
Right behind us is the 5-inch gun.
Now, in exchange for granting filmmakers assistance and access to both equipment and personnel, The military just demands one little thing in return: final script approval.
That's a very bad idea!
You have to thank her now.
But guys, who would have thought the Army would, if they participate in a movie, they want to be portrayed positively? Who would have thought that, right?
She said the Navy and Marines.
God bless you, Ellie.
This arrangement ensures that Hollywood depictions of the military are always positive and uncritical, even when the story involves dinosaurs or killer robots or aliens from outer space. This cozy relationship is sometimes referred to as militainment because it produces media that glorifies military institutions, combat, and warfare. So there's a long history of military involvement in Hollywood.
So then, can you say the same about when there's a movie out that is kind of a reboot of an 80s movie that took a hardline stance of having feminine women as the main characters, degrading all men, basically. What do you think about that kind of movie, buddy? Do you think that's a little overhanded? Do you think that maybe that movie was trying to make some form of thoughts or ideology maybe look better than maybe it actually is? Maybe so there's a movie out there that might not be addressing the issues that people have or something. I don't know. It has ghosts in it.
Still, I'd argue that this Independence Day movie collaboration is especially insidious. Now, beyond the covert collection of personal data on Facebook, which is bad enough, what's so unsettling about it is that the U.S. Army is leaning heavily on the fantasy of alien invasions as a way to convince young people to become soldiers in real life.
When the
yes, because aliens exist, so yeah.
Soldiers in the movie rise up. When they adapt to a new threat facing the world. When they find a way to win no matter what. Remember where Hollywood gets that from. The U.S. Army has been defending American independence for more than 241 years. Go to goarmy.com/independence to learn how you can join their ranks. Independence Day Resurgence in theaters June 24th.
Problem is, where Hollywood gets that from is from fiction, or at least a heavily sanitized version of the U.S. military. Now, this cross-branded Earth-space defense campaign does fit very neatly with the U.S. Army's PR tagline, Defending America's Independence. There's just one small problem with that. It's not exactly true anymore. The majority of modern U.S. military operations look a whole lot more like intervention than independence. And those operations are certainly not designed to beat back any invasion of the heartland, either from foreign or extraterrestrial origin. The long and short of it is, the U.S. government has been in a near constant state of war for over a century. In fact, it's overthrown or invaded over 50 countries just since the end of World War II. In an incredibly strange coincidence, most of those military interventions have somehow ended up benefiting or protecting the economic interests of American big business. And under the umbrella of the so-called War on Terror, the U.S. military is currently raining destruction down on countries all across the Middle East and North Africa.
Oh, here we go. We're going into this territory of a can of worms. It's very complicated, with the whole thing. I'm not gonna bother commenting on this. It's very tricky.
Grim, messy, and often bloody reality of it. And that unpleasant reality is one of the reasons why the U.S. Army is increasingly turning to science fiction stories as a recruiting tool.
Heroes. Ordinary people who discover they can do extraordinary things. With unique talents and strengths, they stand together as an elite class. It's more than a uniform. It's a chance to be part of something bigger than you ever imagined. Try it on at facebook.com/GoArmy.
But maybe we shouldn't be blaming the Army for things that they're just being told to do. Maybe we should look at the politicians we elect in office. Did you ever think of that? The Pop Culture Detective Agency? Did you ever think that maybe it's not maybe it's not the Army that's the problem? It's the politics that go with it, because think about it this way: the soldiers are only doing what they're told. It's like blaming the an EMT for doing their job. You know, you're not gonna do that because the EMTs is doing their job, taking you to the hospital. You're not gonna fucking be like, oh my god, I can't believe they took him to the hospital. This is ridiculous. It's like, yeah, but you called us and we are just doing our job. The soldiers there are just doing their job. They're just doing what they're told. Do you want them to go? Do you want the army to go AWOL and be like, no, we're not gonna do this. This is wrong. And then we're gonna have a lot more. We're gonna have a bigger issue than just where the army is going. Just saying.
See exclusive content for X-Men First Class. Only in theaters June 3rd. There's Strong, and then there's Army Strong.
Science fiction can provide a simple good versus evil narrative, one that appeals to patriotism and a desire to save the world without any association with those real-life military operations and atrocities. In addition to leaning on science-fictional conflicts, the U.S. Army is also leveraging science-fictional technology and science-fictional weaponry as an exciting pop culture lore to hook young people into enlistment.
Come on! Oh, make left!
Fighting imagined enemies avoids the uncomfortable associations with U.S. foreign policy. So killer robots or zombies or alien invasions, these are all dehumanized conflicts without any messy moral questions attached. There are no real human beings with feelings or families or grievances with U.S. imperialism.
Give me that thing.
Invading
Yeah,
space.
because obviously aliens don't have any like sense of politics or government where they come from. No, clearly they don't.
Space aliens are easy to kill. There's no guilt or remorse or critical thinking that's required. Unlike the real world, where killing other people, no matter how vile they may be, is never something you should feel particularly good about. Independence Day Resurgence didn't do so well at the box office, so we probably won't be subjected to another movie in this series. Unfortunately, we'll definitely be seeing the US military using this type of advertising tactic again. That's because both the US military and the advertising industry understand something that many people still want to deny, and that is that fiction can be a very powerful and very effective way to influence people's actions and attitudes. The military has a long tradition of intentionally blurring the lines between fiction and reality, but this latest movie tie-in represents a shift to a more insidious form of product placement. And we have a word for when the government does this kind of thing, and that word is propaganda. I hope you found this video useful. If you'd like to see more...
No, let's take a look at his stupid Patreon. This guy is a... Don McIntosh! Oh my god, is this the guy that I keep seeing on Twitter? Oh my god, I keep seeing people like shit on this guy every day on Twitter, and now I see him. Oh my god. Dude, I didn't even know this guy was this guy after all. Man, he is an idiot. And he makes... Dude, Phil makes more money than him. That's kind of sad. That's kind of sad when a guy like DSP is making more money than you. But whatever. This guy's an idiot, to be honest. Just that video is dumb. Let's just watch this. What is toxic masculinity?
During your travels around the internet, you may have bumped into the term toxic masculinity. It usually shows up in connection with particularly abusive male behavior, so things like harassment, homophobia, sexism, or violent outbursts.
Oh fuck. Actually, I want to do this during video.